just absolutely no traction. The front end slid out from under him.
Losing 2 spots to James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael. There are those who would say it might have happened anyway, but Chad Reed tipping over made it a lot easier for Stewart. Here comes Carmichael, and these two have resumed their battle, this time for the lead, and apparently both pretty much, if not at 100%.
Well, here we go again. If you're not smiling right now, you're not a motocross fan, because this is what it's all about.
The gap behind them tells the story. These two are the class of the field when they're both running at full tilt. And so James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael, as Carmichael goes inside, can't quite get close enough to make the pass. Stewart is there, Carmichael right behind him. And yes, if you're a motocross fan, you're smiling right now, and if you look close, you'll see smiles on the faces of the fans around the fences here. Carmichael goes outside, crosses back in with a great drive up the hill. They flatten it out side by side, little kickouts there, and here they come in tandem. James Stewart with Ricky Carmichael right behind him. Inside goes Carmichael again to take the lead, but not for long. And he does it again, side by side, pushes Stewart out off the edge of the track, and Ricky Carmichael takes advantage by a couple of bike lengths. You know this is not over.
Well, Ricky's been definitely forcing the issue. Anytime these two get together, he doesn't waste a lot of time. He gets in there. If he's got to bump him, he did it at Budds Creek. He'll just shove you out of the way. Yeah, that's how he gets around you now.
And the rain has subsided for the time being, so the track, whatever. Oh, Stewart turns the favor right back, comes in and blasts Carmichael to take the lead.
Oh, snap. Now, how angry is Ricky Carmichael right now? He's been doing that to James all year. I think James just finally said, hey.
So James Stewart retakes the lead in dramatic fashion. Whether real anger or just that competitive spirit that both of these men have is going to rise to the top, that's exactly what we have to think here as Stewart and Carmichael resume their rivalry, resume their battle. It's Moto 1 at Washougal, and stay with us. Championship by FMF. This is what they had in mind when they put the season together. James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael going after each other. Hammer and tong, as our British colleagues would like to say, and Carmichael trying to find another way around. Now they've both exchanged sort of rabbit punches, if you will. Now let's see if the real knockout, if either one can deliver it.
Well, Ricky pushed him off the track. There wasn't a whole lot of contact there, but he definitely didn't leave him any room, and James went off the track, had to go around a jump. And when James came back, he ran straight into Ricky. He shoved him right completely off the track. So
now Carmichael just took the lead again in a very gentlemanly pass by comparison. So apparently the hostilities have subsided somewhat, at least, with an exchange of block passes. Carmichael now with the advantage, and Stewart trying to find a way back around.
Well, these two, for the most part, they'll race clean together. They're not going to, there's no bitterness there between the two of them, but they both really want to win, and if there's only a little bit of room to make a pass, these guys are going to take it. They're going to open that gap up.
Every bit of me wants to think that on both occasions they were laughing under their helmets, saying, wow, that was good. All right, I like that. I'll give you back some of your own medicine here in just a minute. So it's that competitive fire that Carmichael and Stewart possess in huge quantities that's motivating them right now as they work through some traffic there, going past Mike LaPaglia from California on his Suzuki.
You see LaPaglia ducking his head down. When you're coming up that hill behind a 450, oh man, you better have a chest protector on it. You will just be welted up.
James Stewart getting close to Carmichael once again as they work the track here at Washougal after a little rain shower. Yes, there's some mud covering both rider and machine. Stewart almost a little short on that last jump, but made it look like he meant to do that.
Can you see how fast these guys are going through these turns? They're just dropping into these ruts, leaned completely over flat and pinning it. This pace they've got going right now is ridiculous.
Well, it's easy to tell how much faster they are than everyone else. Do you see anyone else on the same lap? No.
I wish Reedy wouldn't have fallen, because it would have been interesting to see how his pace held up with these two. Would have really added something to the battle, but
Carmichael and Stewart working through lap traffic right now, and those riders doing the best they can to get out of the way in some parts of the track where there's hardly two lines. And besides, there are two guys coming up behind them, you have to leave two lines. Stewart gets through clean, lost a little bit of ground to Carmichael. Carmichael with a big advantage right now here in Moto number 1. Working traffic just a little bit better. James has got to go back to work to try to close the gap again. He can do it. Coming up on the final lap, Carmichael and Stewart with the white flag waving. Still a little bit of traffic in front of him. The number 361 there, Colton Facciati from Canada.
You've seen Ricky Carmichael have to change his strategy. He used to be so much more fit than anyone else on the track. He could just take his time, be very patient. He knew at about the 20-minute mark, everybody would slow down and he would actually get faster. And what James has done is just, he's made that strategy not work anymore. James is just as fit. He's faster than Ricky used to be, so Ricky had to increase his speed and attack right from the beginning. I mean, James isn't dropping off his rear wheel here at all. Ricky's having to push all the way to the finish. So I would be interesting to be a fly on the wall at their little team meetings and see what Ricky's strategy is. You know, it's got to be just, hey, get to the front as fast as you can and haul butt, because James is going to be right there.
Well, James is right there, but seems to be coming up on lappers in slightly less opportune moments. So Carmichael's been able to maintain this gap for the last lap. And we're on the final lap right now, but Stewart isn't cutting him any slack.
Well, he's not backing off either. He wants Ricky to know that he can finish right behind him. These are the turns I'm talking about. Look how fast they get through these corners.
Carmichael on the final lap here in Moto number 1, still working traffic. James Stewart doing everything he can to try to get up there and make a race out of it as Carmichael continues to bounce it around and ride aggressively. The only thing that Stewart might have is a little less race fitness than Ricky Carmichael, because he's had a few weeks off here and there.
Yeah, he has taken some time off. At Colorado last weekend, I think he was definitely sort of blowing the cobwebs off, and he's obviously a little bit better here, and I think as the season goes on, these last 4 races, he'll get even better and even better. These races will get more fun to watch, because James is just going to continue to get more comfortable racing again, and they're going to continue to work out the little glitches that they've got on that bike, if there are any, if that rebounding issue is as big a problem as they're saying. And when they figure those little things out, James is going to take off a 10th here, a half a second there, and he'll be even closer to Ricky if that's possible.
And of course, the fans are the winners. Even though Stewart is out of the championship, even by his own admission, the fans who lean over the fences every week at places like Washougal want to see good racing like this. Pass and repass between Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart. In the end, Carmichael prevails.
Oh, Ricky's waving him up. I wonder what this is all about.
Well, it looks like some good sportsmanship in the end, and they'll race again.